Hey guys, what's up? Alex here. And you know, I made this video earlier, but I can do better. So I wanted to talk about an inspiring family event that is my most favorite memory of all time, ever. So I have a side of my family that I have nothing to do with, and then I have a Mormon side of my family that I just love and adore. And I live in Utah, so Utah Mormons are a different kind of Mormons, just saying that right now. And I was really worried about how devout my whole family is in their own unique way. So I had come out while I was living in Korea. I just came to the US a year ago. Actually, a year ago this month, I just moved back home after living abroad for about a year and a half. And I had come out while I was out, but it was different coming home and seeing people face to face after I had come out with this really personal thing that I'm transgender, right? And I wrote emails, or I had conversations over the phone, or I wrote a letter. I think one person we did video talking. So I tailored my approach to everyone in the family in a different way, and I allowed them to have their own process that was different from everyone else's. So I came home and I was really worried, and it was also like my first holiday season home in a while, you know, after you're gone. And it wasn't terribly long, but it was my first, some people just move down the street. I moved to a foreign country, you know. So I came home and I went to dinner at my Mormon family's house, and I got to pick my dinner. And it was chicken and rice, by the way, with a Greek salad. And my favorite dessert of all time is pumpkin pie. My aunt, she grows a beautiful garden every year. I think it's a Mormon thing. I don't know. I mean, not necessarily, but she also cans a lot of fruit and vegetables. And so she grew these really beautiful pumpkins, and she froze the innards, and then she made homemade pumpkin pie. And that was my dinner home. And like I said, I had already out, and I wasn't going by Alex, I was still going by Alexis. And they've only recently started to make the transition with how they refer to me in like cards and stuff, which is really sweet. But it's not been something I've been really diligent or adamant about. I don't actually have a problem with being called Alexis at all. I think it's a really cool boy's name. I just think it's easier for people to remake how they see me if they call me by a different name. So I think it has some value in it, but I don't have any problem with Alexis. Anyway, so I had this like amazing dinner, and we played games, which is my favorite thing to do. Categories is my favorite game. And we played that. And then my aunt and uncle, they're so cute, you guys. You know the song in Elf, the duet that they sing in the shower? Well, my aunt and uncle sang that song, and it was just a really cool memory. It's one of my favorite memories of all time, and I was just thinking about it tonight. And I wanted to say, I mean, I came out to very conservative religious people, and we've had really loving experiences following that as well. And I'm not too far in my transition, not medically, but they've called me to see how I was feeling after surgery, and it's possible to have a great relationship with people that you didn't know how it was going to work out with. And I'm fortunate. My family is spiritual in addition to being religious, and I think that goes a long way. But it was nerve-wracking, and it's awesome. And I look forward to getting together for our Christmas holiday. And the other, just last piece of advice, I mentioned this, and I think it is worthwhile to say in 2 videos. I let people go through their individual process. I tailored and customized the way that I dealt with everyone. And I didn't have a blanket thing. And I think it's harder to navigate it. But I also, people were starting to come around on their own accord. And just recently, my cousin had called me up to say thanks for allowing her to grieve the loss of an older sister, which I wasn't saying like, well, you're going to get an older brother. Like, I just let her be sad about that loss, and I made sure that I was present, and I would go to her house with a pizza and a movie, or help out with random household chores just so we could interact, and just so she would know that I'm actually still very present in her life. My uncle wanted to have a very uncomfortable conversation about family and bodies and genitals and things that I would never ever talk about, but I'm the only person he could talk to about my genitals, right? So, and that's not always appropriate, right? The dick question isn't appropriate, but I think sometimes it is appropriate, and it's something that I thought of, so it's very natural, I think, to bring it up, but I showed up for people in different ways. My aunt just wanted to talk about losing a niece and how she always revered me with a, you know, she loved my personal accomplishments as a young, fierce woman, right? And so she felt like she was losing out on this bonding of this sisterhood, and she said it in a really loving and kind way, and all I had to do was just sit there and listen, because that's what she required. She didn't want to know my perspective or my identity, and that wasn't important. So if anything I could say, just try to be as patient as possible, and kind to yourself as well. Like, you get to stand up for yourself. But even people who are really limited with experience with LGBT anything, I think can express love. If you say, you know, for me, I told them I didn't need their approval, but I would really appreciate their support. And that's what I've gotten wholeheartedly. My cousin said she doesn't approve, and I'm always welcome at her house. So I made sure I was at her house, you know, and I have always been welcome. So anyway, just a little bit of like, I wanted to change it up and have something kind of inspiring to talk about. Okay, guys, happy holidays. If you need anything, you can email me or send me a message through my link. And yeah, hope you guys are all well. Bye.